Hello, brothers and sisters. Right now I want to discuss Genesis chapter 28 fairly briefly. I found something that I thought was interesting. So you have two brothers, the older brother Esau and the younger brother Jacob. Esau made a pact with his brother to sell his birthright, an oath that Esau's birthright would belong to Jacob because Esau was starving, quote unquote, on the verge of death. And Esau says, what good is my birthright if I'm so hungry I'm about to die? So they make a pact and they make that promise. Well, as their father Isaac grew older, he became blind. And through some events, Jacob deceived Isaac and received a blessing, which was the birthright that they had promised so long ago. So of course a family feud broke out, and Jacob left in order to kind of just leave off from that situation. So here's where it gets interesting. Jacob stopped one night, took it and rested, and he had a vision from God. And Jacob was so mesmerized by this vision, he says, he makes this vow. If God will be with me, now understand, he says, if God will be with me and will watch over me on this journey I'm taking, and if he will give me food to eat and clothes to wear, so that when I return safely to my father's household, so that I will return safely to my father's household, then the Lord will be my God, and this stone that I have set up as a pillar will be God's house. And all that you give me, I will give you a tenth. There's two things I want to kind of just talk about here. So from the very beginning, Genesis chapter 28 is, from what I've seen, the very first instance of tithes. Meaning Jacob acknowledged that anything he has, any kind of food, clothing, safety, shelter, all of that comes from God. And he is willing to give back 10% just as a thank you. Okay? So I thought that was interesting. But the second part is their faith. Esau gave up his birthright. Esau gave up his right to be blessed as the oldest child from his father because he was hungry. It shows that Esau did not have faith in God that he would sustain him even in hunger. What up, Seth? So I just found that to be interesting. A lot of people want to talk about how unfair it was for Jacob to deceive his father, but I mean, if his brother gave up the birthright, made an oath about it on the basis of his lack of faith in their God, what does that say about their faith? Honestly, Jacob seems to be the better choice. Not only did he have faith that God would sustain him, but he even decided to double down and say, not only, if he does this, right, I will, for the rest of my life and the rest of my generations, I will teach them to tithe. I will give back to the Lord a tenth of what he has blessed me. So just a meager 10%. So that's just all I found interesting. The first instance of tithes, where the idea of tithes comes from. And how a lack of faith in God could really undermine your future. All right, well, that's all I wanted to talk about. God bless, my friends.